Hi guys, Coach Kevin here, and we are on episode 4 of the Why We Train podcast, and I'm here with Sobia.
Hi.
So I'm very happy that Sobia decided to come on because I know her story, and it's a great one, and it's personal, but she's happy to share it just because she knows it can help someone. So I'm very grateful that you are doing this.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me here. Super excited to get into it. I'll kick it off with a little bit of background. I started Boundless in 2022, and I was originally a very active person. I went to the gym, 24-hour fitness, did a lot of classes and weight training, but I think the one thing that was missing for me was community. There was a big lack there because everyone, including myself, was just in a rush. Get in, get out, go home, get dinner on the table. My friend Anushe suggested to check out this class called Boundless. It's filled with a great group of people. So I gave it a shot, and it was really awesome to meet people from all walks of life and different backgrounds. Doesn't matter what age you are, everyone's coming together for the same shared purpose, which is growth, no matter what that meant to each individual. And yeah, I started doing Boundless, and it wasn't until later that year that I found out I was expecting baby number 2. And I was really excited. I was in the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna continue on with the gains and just make it a part of my lifestyle, even though I was expecting, and just have you help modify different movements. After the first trimester, we got some news from our doctor saying that it's a high-risk pregnancy and I would need to be on bed rest for the remainder of my pregnancy. And so,
Can you tell them what bed rest actually means in this context?
Sure. Yeah, so bed rest for me, doctor's orders were lay in bed most of the day. You can get up to use the restroom, shower if you need to, and of course come to your appointments, but you should be pretty much in a side position, either side, or just laying down. There was a lot of pressure on my uterus, so just wanting to make sure to relieve as much pressure as possible, hence bed rest. It's funny you asked that because I also asked the doctor, I was like, oh, okay, so I could still walk around, but just like most of the day, just stay in bed. And he was like, no, when I say bed rest, I'm like complete bed rest.
How about eating? Are you able to go and sit and eat, or were you supposed to?
I was eating in bed, just laid back, and I got the whole setup, a food tray, and family would eat dinner with me in bed.
Oh,
it just
that's
became
nice.
like different routines for us. But yeah, for eating, drinking, like everything was just pretty much womb service in bed. And so, as you can imagine, getting that information from the doctor, my head just went into a downward spiral. Being a very active person and having big hopes that we're gonna spend our last summer as a family of 3 doing fun things, going on adventures, it just completely came to a halt. I was worried that the gains I had worked so hard for at Boundless would just disappear. Thinking about what this would do to my muscles, how it could impact my joints and my bone density overall. I just started going in very negative places. It helped having our community and our village of people. We had our families on rotation weekly, helping out, staying with us, friends dropping in and out, staying with me in the hospital for a couple days at a time throughout the pregnancy. Obviously, Horace, my husband, was my rock. But even outside of all of that, it still felt very isolating. I was just in bed and the world was continuing on, and I wasn't a part of it. And it wasn't until a week or 2 had passed and I picked up my journal and thought, okay, I really need to get back into this, and started creating a plan for myself. If you know me, you know that I'm a big planner at heart. And when I say plan, I don't mean I was planning days in advance. I'm just planning what I could do the following day to keep me sane. Every morning I would wake up and focus on deep, mindful meditation and a lot of breath work, which I learned from you, Kevin. Back in OG Boundless days, we would start off our workouts with meditation. It helped recenter and ground me before training and just helped me be present And I think that's what I needed. That's what I dialed into every morning. And it helped me so much. It was a great way to start my day.
So you did that every day just to center yourself and
Exactly.
start with some gratitude and
Exactly. I'm here. I'm going to be present. I'm going to take on the day, whatever that means. I got into a lot of things. I became an expert colorer with my daughter. I started learning how to crochet. I read a lot of books and just kept myself busy. One of the things the doctor mentioned to us was just take each day at a time, and every day you complete is a milestone. That just became my way of thinking. I just want to complete the day and I'm going to be golden.
this was 6 months.
4 months of bed rest.
Yeah.
Even a week of bed rest. It's just daunting. 4 months is not easy. As I started getting a little bit more comfortable, I made this sort of commitment to myself. It wasn't a loud burst of courage that came to me. I think it was just a soft voice in my head every night before I'd go to bed that, hey, once the baby comes out, we're going to do this. We're going to get back into it, whatever that means. Again, in my headspace, I didn't know what that meant. I was going to be realistic with myself. I knew I was going to be postpartum. Obviously, there's a lot that comes with that, both emotionally, physically demanding, and I don't know what state my body would be in after the baby. But I knew that if I continuously told myself I'm going to meet myself there, it would give me the courage to do so. Fast forward, baby came, he's healthy and beautiful. We went on a trip to Japan and we came back and I was ready. I had a weird feeling that like, here I was a couple of months ago, not even being able to fathom how I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. But all of a sudden I had this fire spark within me and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. After a few weeks, obviously after doctor's clearance, I started doing some physical therapy. I showed up here. For me, that was the biggest thing, showing up. I realized I wasn't gonna start at the same place where I was when I ended Boundless. I was gonna be starting brand new again and have to really modify and just have grace with myself. And I think you just inspiring me, like motivating me, telling me you're gonna be stronger when you come out of this, it really helped. And having the Boundless community just cheer me on just for showing up, it meant the world to me, and I think that's what kept me going. For me, it was about showing up and having that commitment to myself. I said I was gonna do something, and here I am doing it. I didn't put a time limit on myself. I wasn't going to do that. I don't like that kind of pressure. And so it was really a mindset shift. After a couple of months, I think you introduced the nutrition challenge. And here I am thinking like, okay, I'm starting to get back into working out. How am I gonna get into the nutrition challenge while I'm nursing and still be able to provide nourishment for my child? After talking to you, we built out this modified plan where I would have a high protein, nutrient dense whole foods that would not just replenish me, but also provide nourishment for my child. And I did what I could. And I think that combined with the working out helped me form a more holistic perspective that my lifestyle is now all about health and wellness because I can't take any day for granted. I know that life is going to continue on with or without me, and I want to do what I can, even if I'm like, okay, wake up at 5 a.m. and try to go on a walk or catch the sunrise, I'm going to do it. If I tell myself I'm going to be committed to something, I'm going to be committed to something. And I think Boundless really helped form that perspective for me. It was more of a breakthrough. And it helped open up other doors. I recently started playing basketball, which is something I never thought I would do. And I think just being able to see the growth from 2023 to today, it's just, I'm floored and shocked just on what the body is capable of. And I think that's something that I never knew like I had in me. And so if it's one thing that I can share with everybody, it's don't make your struggle or challenge or tragedy define you. Like you have to write your own story and meet yourself where you want to be.
That's beautiful. So the bed rest, I'm thinking about it. I'm usually a very calm guy who can take on challenges, but to be told that I'm going to be on bed rest for 4 months and not do anything except go to the restroom, go to doctor visits, etc. I think mentally, emotionally it would be difficult, and of course physically, because now you're just feel like you're just withering away
Yeah.
of everything that you have worked for.
Yeah.
What was the hardest of the three, physically, emotionally, or mentally?
It's a tough one. I think emotionally and physically, just because I have always been a very active person, whether I'm trying to go on a new trail or go on a hike, go to the beach. I'm an adventurous person. So having to shut the door on that for 4 months is very trying. Emotionally, you have this idea of what you would do before you introduce a new baby. We had a lot of plans, like we were going to go on road trips and try to do a lot more firsts with Kinza before bringing Musa into the world. Having to postpone that was really hard. It's almost as if time is taken away from you. And yeah, I would say those two things.
I know your husband, I know your daughter, I know your son, and they're great people. I love that you guys still had family dinners
Yeah.
in bed.
Yeah. We had family dinners in bed. We started training in bed. Like I would train Kinza for karate. It became a different kind of tradition with our family. And now my daughter actually comes to the 4 o'clock foreman's class. My husband comes when he's free, and Musa is just doing goblet squats with balloons. It's really cool to see the level of influence you can have on your family. And I think the Boundless community does that for everybody.
That's great. The mental aspect. Did you ever get to a point where negative thoughts just come in? Were there a point where it's just, especially after, I've lost so much, I'm not even going to try? Or is it even worth it?
It's funny because I went to those dark places and I thought about it, and bringing it back to just how I was raised and how I grew up, I couldn't let a moment go by where I wasn't doing something. I wasn't being productive. And I didn't want that to happen. In fact, Horace moved a TV up into our room, but I told myself, I'm not turning that thing on until evening hours. I stayed committed. Like I was really shocked because yeah, like you have your weak moments and it's really hard for me. The daily planner and the gratitude journaling helped me focus on what's important to me. And as far as the gains, it's funny because when I went to one of my doctor's appointments, I asked him, can I keep twisting my wrists and working on my ankles? And he said, yeah, of course. So as I'm laying in bed, I'm looking probably really silly, but working on
Just whatever you can do.
flexibility and
Yeah.
mobility, right?
Yep.
Just to do whatever I can.
That was a hard time in your life. Would you say you came out of it with more gratitude about life for each day? When you were explaining, it did seem like you don't want to take each day for granted. Would you say that's one of the big things, a positive thing that you took away from this part of your life?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone tells you like, oh, no two pregnancies are the same. And you just think, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. My first was fine. Everything's going to be fine. But you can't live with that mindset. I realized anything is possible and you can't take life for granted. That just helps me shift my mindset to, I want to do that thing that's new. I want to go check out that restaurant. I want to read the book, join the book club, try new things. I want to live life fully. I walked away with that perspective. I think bits and pieces of that have also just been exposed to my family as well. So my daughter is taking on a new sport. My son loves basketball, so we're considering putting him in basketball. And my husband joined Boundless. I think we're all kind of thinking about life that way.
That's great. Yeah, so I think one of the big things I noticed, Sobia, is that you have a very good mindset and outlook. Because even after the whole thing, you said, I'm going to do this for myself. I don't care how long it takes. You came back. Not only did you come back, started to exercise again, but you went head on into the nutrition challenge. And I would say you had a pretty successful nutrition challenge. Do you remember your results by chance? I think you lost like a good amount of body fat.
Yeah, I think the body fat was cut into half. I
From-
definitely lost like the baby weight and then some. It's funny because the other day my husband Horace said, "Oh, you're back like circa 2011." I told him I may look like that, but I feel 10 times stronger. This is the strongest I have been in my life. It's shocking because being on bed rest and going through all that, I wouldn't have imagined that I would be stronger coming out of it. But chipping away day after day helped me get there.
Wow. I just want to emphasize that. You went from bed rest for 4 months, came back, physically just thrown back, and then you went in, started going slow, little by little. Nutrition challenge came, and you lost all that weight you gained from pregnancy. Plus, you gained back all your strength, if
Yeah.
not more.
Yeah.
And your body fat went from X amount, and I do remember like
Yeah.
it almost cut in half,
Yeah.
which is amazing. That is probably within less than a year after Musa was born.
Right. Yeah.
Within a year.
On his first birthday, I felt, okay, I'm back. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, that's great.
It was a really cool full circle moment. And I think having you be the mentor, encouraging me, and having the community here cheering you on, right? What I love about Boundless is that it isn't a competition. For me, it's my own personal growth. And I love being able to track it. The app has a really cool feature. I like geeking out over it and seeing where I was a couple months ago to where I
Yeah.
am today.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a great story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you
Hopefully
for
this
having
also
me.
creates a closing chapter, and it flipped that story within you to being a positive story.
Yeah.
Because that's
Right.
very important, the narrative that you have within yourself.
It's true.
Yes,
No,
okay,
it's
good.
so true. After all of this happened, one of my friends went through the same experience and I was shocked. You're just coming out of it and you think it's so rare, but then all of a sudden I started thinking, wait, I can be there for her, inspire her, and share my story so she may not feel isolated and alone. She may know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm hoping the same here.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Sobia. And thank you for everyone who's listening.
Thank you.
And see you guys next time.
Again.